Crafting Vicky here with you, and I'm trying something totally new. I'm hoping that this is gonna work. I have no idea if it will or if it won't. This is new to me. I've never tried to share my screen before, so please be patient with me, guys, if it's not working. So basically, the first thing I do, because I've got a lot of requests following my postcard videos on how do I resize my images. So first trick is I've got an SD card that's in my computer where all my digital images are, and they're all in the artists basically, and you can see I've got many, and you can actually see that this is a humongous, you can see how many files I've got. Like, this is crazy. So that's why it's not on my hard drive. And you can understand that all of this is taking much less space than it would if I had all the stamps instead. Okay, so that's why I just adore digital images. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the one, see this is the file that I adjusted and that I shared with, I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure that I saved it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So what would happen is I would choose an image. So for example, this one. And basically, I would do a right click and I do a copy. And then I go into my Word document and I paste it. Okay, so now we've got the images that are here, but they take a lot of room and the images are very tiny. So from that point on, what I do is I go into page layout and I make sure that my images is highlighted. As you can see the box here. So when you click on it, so right click on it, and then you go into wrap text and I do tight. This way I can actually shift the image around. Okay, so that's the first thing, the first trick that I've got that I really love. So then what I do is I do a page break within the same area, the page layout and page. So I use Word for this. I don't know if there's other software that can be used for this. I'm sure there are. There's probably other tutorials. This is just my way of doing things, but I like it. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. So then I right click. Sorry, before I was saying left click. I said right, it's left. If you right click, you can do a copy, and then I just copy it over in the next one. Okay, that easy. Then I go into format and I choose crop, and I choose the image. Whoops, I choose the image that I want to crop. So see, I just bring in the little corners and I bring them in to the image size that I want. So I want this one, and I just click enter, and there is my image. So now I can move it around and I can adjust the size. I can make it super big or I can make it smaller. See? So that's how I decide how much I want. And then in here you've got the format of the picture. No, not that one. You've got the size. Is that the one? You've got the size here, and you see that the size. My stuff is in centimeters, so you see that the size is 8 centimeters by 6 and 18. So that's one way of knowing how big your image is going to be, because sometimes you don't really know. Make sure that you don't have too much white on the top or bottom when you're looking at the height, because that can be very misleading. And same thing on the sides. But I mean, it's a trial and error, guys, and once you've tried it a few times, you get better at it. So now I'm gonna do the same thing again, and I recopy. I do another break and I recopy this on here, because otherwise I change the cropping setup here. So now what I want to do is I go back to format, I go back to crop, and I choose, let's say, this little girl. Okay, and then I do enter, and then I can move her over to the next page and resize. Okay, so this is how I do this, and you can add as many as you want on your page. What I tend to do is, if I'm going to be using the same images over and over again, I tend to save my Word document. This way I can access it again with the right size of image, and I don't have to go through the hassle of resizing all my images again. Okay, so that's just a little trick. Obviously when you print, I've just deleted the extra page, because when you print you don't want that. And then you could just do your file and print, and you can choose which page you want and how you want it, and which printer and whatever. So that is my little tutorial. It's nothing really fancy. I told you it was really easy, and that's all there is to it. And it's just nice to be able to remove the image this way. Now there's ways that you can remove the white background and to make the image clear so that you could put an actual paper underneath, but that's a much different story, and it's much more complicated, and you need to use other type of programs like GIMP to do this, and I don't think this is the type of things that we really want to do right now. But I'm hoping that this is something that is of interest to you, and that you will find digital image so easy to use. Once you get started with them, you really love them, and it's super fun, and you can do all kinds of stuff. Like here I could format my picture, and I can change the colors and all kinds of things like that. You know, I can put them black and white. See, now it's black and white. I can do all kinds of stuff like that. I can choose whichever color, could put the background in a different color. So that's what I really love about this, is that you've got, but see, when I did this, you've got the full page. Even though I cropped the image, here you only see the image, but in reality, all of the pages here. So that's why I insert a new page and I do what I did, because otherwise I would lose what I cropped here, and I would have to start it over. I hope I'm making sense. If there's any questions, if something is not clear, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to make it clearer for you guys. Like I said, I'm far from an expert, far from a computer expert. I've learned this trick on my own, and it's worked very well for me, and I'm hoping that it's going to work for you too. So that's it. Bye everyone. Hope you like it. If you do, please do give me a thumbs up, and that's all I've got for you now. Bye.